All right, ready to dive deep today. We're going to untack Elder Marcos A. Aidukaitis' April 2022 talk, Lift Up Your Heart and Rejoice.
It's a good one.
It is, right. And we're really focusing on its message about gathering Israel.
Especially how it connects to missions.
Yeah, missions, challenges, rewards, the whole 9 yards.
You know, it's so interesting how he starts with his own story
Right.
as a young man facing, resistance to serving a mission.
And from some pretty unexpected sources, even his dentist.
Right. It's like, wait, my dentist is giving me life advice now.
But he uses those little hurdles to get at a much bigger idea, something central to the Latter-day Saint faith.
Gathering Israel.
Okay, so for someone who might not be totally familiar
With all the ins and outs.
yeah, what does gathering Israel actually mean, practically speaking?
So basically, it's about bringing people to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
Both those alive now and those who have passed on.
Okay, so both sides of the veil.
Exactly. It's like helping people get access to these essential ordinances and covenants.
Uh-huh.
Think baptism, temple ceremonies, things that connect them to God.
And help them progress eternally.
Right, often called saving ordinances.
Because they're believed to be essential for salvation.
Yeah, so it's not just about boosting membership, you know? It's about something much deeper, something with eternal significance.
Wait, Beer.
And the talk really emphasizes how central this is. He even quotes President Nelson saying it's the most important thing taking place on Earth today.
Wow. Yeah, that's huge.
In a world full of, well, everything.
Mhm.
This is highlighted as the top priority.
So in a way, Elder Aidukaitis is saying that by serving a mission, you're part of the most important work happening on Earth.
Exactly. And then he hones in on the youth, right? President Nelson calls them his finest team, almost like a special ops unit for this gathering.
Love that analogy.
Right, special ops for gathering Israel. It really gets at that sense of purpose and urgency.
And the idea that this generation is uniquely prepared for this specific moment in time?
Exactly, like almost reserved for this.
Mm.
And they're tasked with gathering Israel on both sides of the veil.
Meaning bringing people to Christ in this life and through temple work for those who have passed.
Right, that veil imagery refers to the separation between the physical world and the spirit world.
So there's a sense of destiny almost.
Oh, absolutely. And it circles back to those challenges Elder Aidukaitis describes facing.
Opposition from his dentist, complications with his university,
Even a potential love interest.
all almost derailing his mission plans.
But he compares these hurdles to what Jesus Christ himself faced.
Whoa, hold on. He's saying even Jesus on his divine mission ran into roadblocks.
That's a pretty powerful comparison.
It is. What's he getting at there?
I think he's making this profound point about aligning with God's will.
Okay.
If even Jesus had to overcome obstacles to fulfill his mission.
It makes sense that we might face some too.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a sign that we're on the wrong path,
But maybe part of refining us.
proving our commitment.
It's like the challenges become part of the mission itself.
A test of faith, almost.
But then he goes on to talk about all these amazing blessings that come from serving.
He uses that phrase, richly blessed.
Right. It's like he's saying, hey, it's tough, but it's worth it.
Totally. And they're not just vague promises. He uses his own life.
Yeah, like with the dentist, the university, even the girl.
And how they all worked out in unexpected ways.
It highlights how the Lord provides, but maybe not always in ways we expect.
Or on our timetable.
Right. We often have such specific ideas of what blessings should look like.
Exactly. Sometimes the greatest blessings come in forms we wouldn't have even imagined.
So we've got gathering Israel, the role of youth, challenges, blessings. But he talks about personal growth too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's this incredible internal transformation.
Through mission service.
He talks about developing greater faith, knowledge, teaching skills, courage, even optimism.
So it's not just about what you do on a mission, it's about who you become.
Exactly. And those benefits stick with you. They equip you for life afterward, whether that's family, career, or continued service in the church.
And he even credits his mission with leading him to his wife.
Right.
He calls her the sunshine of his life.
It just highlights how deeply a mission can impact your life.
Shaping your character, your relationships, your future happiness.
It's not about sacrificing personal fulfillment.
It's about finding a different kind of happiness, a deeper sense of purpose.
That flows from living in harmony with our divine potential.
And that's where the top's title comes in, Lift Up Your Heart and Rejoice. Even though there will be challenges, there's this underlying current of joy and gratitude.
For being part of something bigger than ourselves.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Gathering Israel, youth, challenges, blessings, transformation. But what about our listener today?
That's the big question, right?
How does all this apply to them?
And I think that's where things get really interesting. Elder Aidukaitis isn't saying everyone has to serve a traditional full-time mission
To experience these things?
or participate in gathering Israel. He's inviting us to think about our own missions,
What ignites our passion?
what makes us feel like we're contributing, making a difference.
It's like applying that same mindset, that spirit of service, to anything we feel called to do.
Exactly. Whether it's family, career, community involvement, creative pursuits, whatever,
It's about recognizing that everyone has a part to play.
in this grand tapestry of gathering Israel.
And our contributions, even if they seem small, can have a ripple effect.
Much bigger than ourselves.
And that brings us back to the core of the talk, to lift up our hearts and rejoice.
Finding joy in the journey, even amidst challenges, approaching our missions with enthusiasm, courage, and gratitude.
Gratitude for the opportunity to be part of something truly extraordinary.
Absolutely.
It's funny, I keep thinking about that dentist
Oh, yeah.
trying to talk Elder Aidukaitis out of his mission. Can you imagine that conversation? Just a routine checkup today. Oh, and by the way, maybe skip that whole mission thing.
I know.
It's such a funny detail.
But it makes you think.
It really does. What if he had listened?
Right.
Would he have had the same experiences, the same growth, the same sunshine in his life?
It's a good point. Maybe those obstacles are actually, essential,
Yeah.
redirecting us towards something better.
Something better, yeah.
It makes you wonder if those challenges are actually part of the journey,
Pushing us out of our comfort zones.
forcing us to rely on faith.
And it goes back to trusting God's timing.
Right, even when things don't go according to our plan.
Because remember, Elder Aidukaitis was worried about his university, his potential relationship, his career.
And ultimately, it all worked out in ways he couldn't have predicted.
It's like that saying, let go of the shore to discover new oceans. Scary to step out in faith, embrace those challenges.
But that's often where the growth is,
Yeah.
and the most unexpected blessings.
But it's not just about waiting for things to magically happen, right?
No, definitely not. He talks about the effort involved, the dedication
To learn a language, teach the gospel, connect with people.
from different cultures.
It's not just God making everything perfect.
Right, we have to partner with him, put in the work.
Trust that he'll guide us.
And that brings us back to President Nelson's call for the youth to be a battalion of the Lord.
Interesting choice of words. Battalion.
It is.
Strength, purpose, collective effort.
It's like he's calling them to step up.
Be leaders in this gathering of Israel.
And remember, this gathering isn't just about converting people.
Right.
It's deeper than that.
Helping people connect with God.
Find purpose and meaning.
Experience joy. Live in harmony with divine principles.
It's about making the world a better place.
One act of service, one conversation at a time.
And it's not just for those serving missions either,
Right. Everyone can be a part of this.
regardless of age or circumstances.
So let's get practical. If our listener wants to apply this to their own life, what can they actually do?
I think it starts with looking inward.
Okay.
What are you passionate about? Where do you see a need that you can maybe help with?
Finding that intersection of our talents, interests, values with the needs of the world.
Yes. It could be simple things. Mentoring someone, volunteering, advocating for a cause.
Starting a business, creating art, just being a better presence for your family and friends.
That's exact.
Endless possibilities.
Right. The key is that spirit of service and dedication.
Seeing our efforts, even small ones, as part of something bigger.
Much bigger.
Okay, so we've identified our passions, found those areas where we can make a difference. But what about the challenges? The doubt, the fear.
That's where Elder Aidukaitis' message about faith and trust comes in.
Yeah, he faced challenges head on.
Didn't always know how things would work out, but he chose to move forward with faith.
Believing that the Lord would guide him.
Supportive.
So it's a shift in perspective.
Seeing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities.
For growth, for resilience.
Maybe even for divine intervention.
Remember his dentist. What if the dentist was actually an angel?
Unknowingly pushing him toward his sunshine.
Loved that. We need to start looking for the angels in our dentist chairs.
Sometimes those angels are our own inner whispers.
Those little nudges.
To keep going, trust the process.
That something beautiful is unfolding.
Even when we can't see the full picture yet.
It's listening to that still, small voice inside.
Reminding us of our potential.
Guiding us to our purpose.
And remembering we're not alone in this.
We have a loving Heavenly Father.
Who wants us to succeed, to experience joy, to become the best versions of ourselves,
We have this incredible support system.
both earthly and divine, cheering us on.
And even when we stumble,
We can get back up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving.
embrace the resilience, the grit,
The determination to keep pursuing our missions,
knowing that each step, each challenge brings us closer to our potential.
to making a positive impact.
And that's where the real joy is, right?
It's not about the destination.
It's about the journey.
The growth, the connections, the love we share,
It's about finding the sunshine in the storms,
those moments of grace and beauty,
reminding us that even in dark times, there's always hope.
always something to rejoice in.
Bringing us back to Elder Aidukaitis' message.
It's not about checking things off a list.
It's about cultivating joy,
Gratitude and love in everything we do.
approaching life with an open heart, a willingness to serve, and a belief that we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves.
Something truly magnificent and awe-inspiring.
Like we're all these puzzle pieces
Yeah.
with our own unique shape and purpose.
Uh-huh.
And when we step into our missions, we finally fit into this big cosmic puzzle
I love that. It really speaks to that feeling of connection.
that Elder Aidukaitis talks about.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Creating something beautiful and lasting.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm.
is there a question or thought you want to leave with our listener? Something to ponder about Elder Aidukaitis' message?
Okay, here's something to think about. If you were to look back on your life, what would you want your mission to have been? What kind of legacy would you want to leave? What impact on the world?
Wow, that's a big question.
It is.
Not just about our daily to-do list.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about the whole story of our lives, you know?
Right? The story we write with our choices and actions,
It makes us think beyond our own needs.
our own desires,
And consider how we can use our gifts to really make a difference.
to make a difference, yeah.
Like we're all called to be heroes in our own way.
Not in a big, flashy way.
Right, but in the quiet, everyday ways we choose to love and serve.
Exactly.
And how we show up for our families, the kindness we offer, the integrity we bring to our work.
Even the hope we give to those who are struggling.
Every interaction,
Every choice.
every act of love, every act of service,
They all have the potential to ripple outward,
creating a more beautiful, more compassionate world.
and finding joy in that process.
Embracing the challenges, celebrating the victories.
Knowing we're part of something so much bigger.
Something truly extraordinary and divine.
It is divine.
So gathering Israel doesn't have to be some distant concept.
It can start right here, right now.
In the smallest acts of kindness, compassion, connection.
And who knows, maybe while we're lifting others.
Our own hearts are lifted too.
Our own spirits are brightened and our lives are filled with a purpose and a joy we never thought possible.
That's beautiful. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
It was my pleasure.
into Elder Aidukaitis' message. Until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep lifting up your heart and rejoicing.